Looks like we're kind of evening out there. So I think most people that are going to be here for the beginning are here. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Patton. I'm president of the Textbook and Academic Authors Association, also known as TAA. And I want to welcome you to our presentation of this year's TAA Textbook Awards. For more than 20 years, TAA has supported emerging and veteran textbook and academic authors through its annual Textbook Award program. Nominated works are judged for their merits in 4 areas: pedagogy, content and scholarship, writing, and appearance and design. Each entry is judged on its own merit in these 4 areas, regardless of other nominations in the same field or category. 45 textbooks have been awarded 2022 Textbook Awards by the Textbook and Academic Authors Association. This is our largest class of awardees so far, and we're excited to give each the recognition that they deserve. I'll be sharing the privilege of announcing awards with TAA's Executive Director, Mike Spinella. Many of our awardees have submitted video acceptance speeches that TAA staff member Eric Schmieder will be running for us today. Thank you all for taking the time to join us for this event and for sharing in the celebration of these award-winning authors and publishers. There's only one housekeeping note for today's ceremony. Please remain muted until invited to unmute. You're encouraged to acknowledge the achievements of our award winners by writing your congratulations into the chat stream, or by using your reaction buttons for thumbs up or hands clapping. Or you can sign your congratulations, or you can wave your hands on camera. Please remain muted during the award announcements. We have a lot of awards to go through, and we want to make sure that everyone is acknowledged during the time that we have. We will pause briefly a couple of times to allow for unmuting, and you can applaud and shout out then. And we'll keep the Zoom channel open after all the awards have been announced to allow for some chatting and discussion. So if you have time, please do stay to visit with old friends or make new friends and congratulate our winners. We'll begin our ceremony with recognition of TAA's Textbook Award winners. The Textbook Excellence Award, or TEXTY, recognizes excellence in current textbooks and learning materials. This year, TAA is proud to present 13 titles with Textbook Excellence Awards across 7 disciplines. We'll begin with the Accounting, Business, and Economics discipline. 4 titles for college-level students have been awarded this discipline, starting with Data Analytics using Excel Microsoft 365 with Accounting and Finance Datasets, 3rd edition, by Joseph Manzo, and published by Flat World. Judges noted that this work is the example for how data analysis textbooks should be written and presented. It successfully takes on the challenging task of introducing students to Excel and motivates them to continue learning more complex financial analytics, resulting in the student effortlessly developing skills crucial in the business world. Author Joseph Manzo has prepared a brief acceptance video.
Hello, everyone. I'm Joseph Manzo. I want to thank the Textbook and Academic Authors Association for giving me this award. Writing a textbook is such a huge undertaking, and to get this kind of recognition is a wonderful honor, and I greatly appreciate that. I couldn't have taken on this project without the great support of my publisher, Flat World Knowledge, and specifically Sean Wakely and Lindsay Ketzel. Lindsay has kept this project on time and on track, and I could not have done this without her support, and also my family. I have an amazing wife and 2 wonderful children. They gave me so much support through a lot of late nights of writing, and their support has just meant the world to me, and I couldn't have done any of this without them. So thank you again. It's a wonderful honor and very much appreciated.
Next, we have Essentials of Organizational Behavior, an evidence-based approach, 3rd edition, written by Terry Scandura and published by Sage. One evaluator wrote, "It blends traditional org theories with current workplace concerns. It's a great source for students at all levels, from undergraduate to graduate to community education." Author Terry Scandura has prepared a brief acceptance video.
Hello, my name is Terry Scandura, and I'm a professor of management in the Miami Herbert Business School in Coral Gables, Florida. I'm pleased to accept this Textbook Excellence Award for Essentials of Organizational Behavior, 3rd edition. I'd like to thank my editors, Maggie Stanley and Lauren Gobel at Sage, and the entire Sage team for putting together what I think is a great textbook. I wrote this textbook after being a practicing dean for 5 years. What I learned is the current OB textbooks were falling short in translating all the great research into practice. There's a lot of new material in the 3rd edition. This was in revision when the COVID-19 pandemic changed the world of work. So I added material on virtual teams, remote work, crisis communication, and managing stress during a pandemic. We kept the features that people liked in the previous 2 editions, the boxed inserts. I added a new one called What's Trending in OB, with current trends like personality traits and social media addiction, and ethics in decision making. People also like the toolkits with discussions questions that can be assigned. I got a lot of feedback on this textbook that the book worked really well when we had to pivot to online teaching. And I was really pleased to hear that. So thank you for this award. It's wonderful to receive this recognition.
Our next winner is a work written by Laura Birama and published by Zovio, entitled Organization Development and Action Research Approach. Judges said that the book, in its 2nd edition, is a clear, well-written textbook that offers a solid foundation to the field of organization development for those unfamiliar with it. One judge went on to say it is highly effective in modeling OD principles of frequent assessment and feedback to allow the students to meet the overall objectives and to better understand the principles of OD practice. Laura has also prepared a brief video for us.
Hi, I'm Dr. Laura Bierma, Professor of Adult Learning, Leadership and Organization Development at the University of Georgia in the Mary Frances Early College of Education in Athens, Georgia, USA. Thank you to the Textbook and Academic Authors Association for this wonderful honor for the 2022 Textbook Excellence or TXT Award for my book, Organization Development and Action Research Approach, 2nd edition. Writing a book is a major undertaking that takes years, and it is great just to write one and publish it, and an even more satisfying experience to have that hard work recognized. So I am grateful and appreciate the honor. Thank you to the reviewers who took their time to review the books, and congratulations also to those being recognized today for your fine work and contributions. I'd like to especially thank Rebecca Painter, the Senior Development Editor at Zovio.com, for working with me, collaborating with me, and innovating to bring this book to publication. Rebecca, I really appreciate you. Finally, I'd like to offer my appreciation to my spouse, Mark A. Bell, who makes it possible for me to write and publish books by being endlessly supportive and my biggest advocate. Thanks, Mark. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to be recognized and wish all a great day of celebration today. Thank you.
And for our next winner, we have Principles of Economics, written by Libby Rittenberg, Alan Grant, and Timothy Tregarthen, and published by Flatworld in its 4th edition. Judges commented that it deserves hands down to win the Textbook Excellence Award. It provides an integrated and coherent view of the totality of micro and macroeconomics for undergraduates and succeeds more completely than any text that I've seen, making for a truly joyful learning experience. Author Alan Grant has prepared a brief video on behalf of the authoring team. Well, congratulations to all these authors in our first group. We'll now move to a Textbook Excellence Award in the discipline of Communication, Performing Arts, and Visual Arts. One college-level work has been awarded a textbook award in this discipline. It is Intercultural Communication, Globalization, and Social Justice. In its third edition, the work is written by Catherine Sorrells and published by Sage. Judges praised it as a relevant and responsible exploration of how cultural nuance impacts human progress and development. Students who use this textbook will gain knowledge and skills that increase cultural competence and awareness of exploitation and oppression in today's world. The author creatively explains how styles and beliefs of communication differ across cultures while emphasizing current events. Congratulations, Catherine. Our next discipline is computer science and engineering. One college university title has been awarded a Textbook Excellence Award in this discipline. Published by Elsevier and written by Alda Vieira da Rosa and Juan Ordóñez, the winner is Fundamentals of Renewable Energy Processes in its fourth edition. According to our evaluators, this text is very comprehensive and provides unbiased information for those interested in understanding the various forms of renewable energy. It should be required reading for anyone in the energy industry to better understand the costs and benefits of modern technology that's available to address both energy development and climate change issues. Author Juan Ordóñez has prepared a brief acceptance video.
Hello, my name is Juan Ordóñez. I am happy to receive this award. I would like to thank TAA and Eric for organizing this event, and I would like to express my appreciation to the publishing team, in particular to Steve Merkin, who coordinated the efforts around this new edition. Let me tell you a little bit about the book. It is the fourth edition of Fundamentals of Renewable Energy Processes. Started with the work of Professor Aldo Vieira da Rosa at Stanford University. And the book is structured around 5 parts. We start with an introduction that covers gives an overview of the energy situation worldwide. And then we make a review of basic elements of thermodynamics and present the key power generation cycles that can be supporting the sustainable power generation strategies. We then talk about ocean thermal energy conversion. This is an energy system that use thermal gradients in the ocean to generate electricity. We talk about thermal electricity, the direct conversion from thermal energy to electricity. And in part 2, we talk about the hydrogen, a topic that is gaining more and more attention. We talk about the hydrogen production, hydrogen storage, and the utilization of hydrogen in fuel cells. In part 3, we focus on solar energy, in particular photovoltaic conversion, with some reference to solar thermal as well. In part 4, we focus on wind power generation and ocean energy conversion systems. And finally, in part 5, we make an introduction to nuclear energy and to forms of energy storage. Again, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this event.
Well, moving on to our next discipline, we have 3 winners in humanities, education, and social sciences. 1 college level title and 2 K-12 titles have earned Textbook Excellence Awards this year, beginning with An Easy Guide to APA Style, 4th edition. Published by Sage and written by Beth Schwartz, Eric Landrum, and Regan Gurung, the book, according to judges, is filled with great resources to make APA easier to navigate. It's a thoroughly well-written, accurate, and perhaps more important, enjoyable book about a subject matter that students often find uninteresting and onerous. The judge also noted that not only students, but their professors will find this guide easier to use than the American Psychological Association's style manual. Lead author Beth Schwartz has prepared a video on behalf of the team.
Good afternoon. My name is Beth Schwartz, and on behalf of my co-authors, Eric Landrum and Regan Gurung, we'd like to say that we are very excited and honored to be recognized for our work in Easy Guide to APA Style. Many of us who were or are in the classroom and identifying how best to teach writing using APA style recognize the importance of teaching details connected to this writing style to our students, and at the same time also recognize the challenge of teaching what is typically not the most exciting content to cover in a course. Even those who have experience writing in APA style often need to check on how a particular work is referenced or how to format tables. And we also recognize the need to make the resource easy to use while in the midst of typing on one's laptop. In short, this text was our attempt to help students and faculty in many disciplines that use APA style to navigate the maze of the rules. With that in mind, we decided that a user-friendly text that includes a more conversational tone in its writing and spiral bound so you have it easily accessible was in order. And we also recognize that students like to see examples. So with that in mind, we included for our very first edition a series of papers written by some of our students with their permission that we included in the text, an easy to use set of examples to help learn the rules of APA writing. Our first edition was printed 10 years ago, and we have enjoyed working on the new editions based upon the changes made from APA and with the feedback provided by the many faculty who've adopted the text and the many students who've used the resource. Once again, we'd like to thank the Textbook and Academic Authors Association for recognizing our work, which we hope will continue to provide the necessary guidance to students, faculty, and all APA style writers alike. Thank you.
Well, next up, we have The Kansas Journey, written by Jenny Chin and published by Gibbs Smith Education in its third edition. It was recognized by evaluators as an outstanding textbook for elementary students. Engaging writing, vibrant images, and thought-provoking questions guide readers through a literary journey across Kansas's history and geography. It's well organized and well tied to the standards. This textbook makes the reader want to go back to the 7th grade to learn all about the state of Kansas. Another K-12 oriented title winning this year is The Nebraska Adventure by Jean Lukash, also published by Gibbs Education and now in its second edition. This work, say the judges, offers an engaging look at Nebraska's diverse cultural history and development across the years. The layout is a strong one, which should keep the students' attention on the important facts and concepts. Elementary school students will develop critical and creative thinking skills while learning about this important state. Author Jean Lukash has prepared a brief video.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jean A. Lukash, and I want to thank the Text and Academic Authors Association for my second Texty Award. I had a first one in 2005 with the Nebraska Adventure, and now we have a new Nebraska Adventure 2022 version, and we just received the Texty Award for that one. I want to thank you all very, very much.
Our next winner is in the discipline of life sciences, where we have one winning title at the college level. Basic Principles of Drug Discovery and Development by Benjamin Blass and published by Elsevier in its...
Thank you again for the Texty Award.
I was listening, not watching to the video. So coming back here, our next winner is in the discipline of life sciences, where we have one winning title at the college level. Basic Principles of Drug Discovery and Development by Benjamin Blass and published by Elsevier in its second edition. A judge wrote that the book tells the complete story of the drug discovery process in a way that makes the information highly accessible to chemistry graduate students, advanced undergraduates, chemistry professionals, and even patent attorneys. An excellent text that I will purchase and read myself, as I believe it'll make me a better teacher of medicinal chemistry. And now we'll move to the discipline of mathematics and statistics. This year, we have 2 winners in the discipline, both of them aimed at K-12 students. Our first winning title in this discipline is also the only series winner for 2022. It's written by Ron Larson and Lori Boswell. The series is Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2, published by Big Ideas Learning, and they're in their 3rd edition. These works, wrote a judge, make up an outstanding series together, making the math content come alive via a plethora of colorful pictures, as well as short snapshots of individual National Geographic explorers whose research connects the math content introduced in each chapter. This series creates a consistent pathway for students as they journey through these courses. Students engage through the online learning environment, while teachers have the ability to evaluate understanding by tracking student success rate, error analysis, and ability to express their understanding through mathematical writing. Author Lori Boswell has prepared a video acceptance speech.
Hi, I'd like to thank the Textbook and Academic Authors Association for presenting this award, the 2022 Texty Award, to Ron Larson and myself, Lori Boswell, for our 3-book high school series, Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. Ron and I are published by Big Ideas Learning, based in Erie, Pennsylvania. Ron and I have been writing together for more than 30 years, and during that period of time, we have authored more than 40 textbooks in kindergarten through Algebra 2. And what has been important to us during all of that time is that all students have the opportunity to learn deep and rich mathematics at every level. And over the 30 years, we know that a lot has changed in mathematics education, and it's changed primarily because of the research. The research about how students learn mathematics, as well as effective ways to teach mathematics. And so Ron and I have tried to incorporate that into our writing, firmly believing that all students can learn mathematics if it is taught well. And so we want to thank you, TAA, for recognizing our efforts with this award this year. Thank you so much.
And our next work in this discipline category is Pre-Calculus with Limits. In its 5th edition, the work is written by Ron Larson and Paul Battaglia and is published by Cengage. Evaluators stated that the textbook provides an engaging and encompassing presentation of pre-calculus topics. This book seamlessly guides students from algebra concepts through trigonometry to an introduction of calculus, while connecting students to applications of the topics and clearly stating objectives in a manner allowing for self-assessment of understanding. Author Paul Battaglia has provided a video acceptance.
On behalf of Ron Larson and myself, we were just thankful to receive a texty for Pre-Calculus with Limits, and thankful to all those who judged our book and found it fit to win this award. And we're just super excited to be able to continue to make content for students that's engaging, that's relevant, that's rigorous, and that allows them to get to a point where they can really truly understand math on a higher level and then translate that to wherever they want to go after pre-calculus. So again, we're very thankful to the TAA and all those who worked on this project at Larson Text, and all the people who worked at NGL and Cengage to get the book out to print.
Our next and final discipline to be recognized with the Textbook Excellence Award is Physical Sciences, and there is a single winner in this discipline category. Physics in the Arts, written by Pupa Gilbert and published in its third edition by Elsevier. Judges commented that this is a textbook which makes physics intriguing and even fun. It's a great effort in connecting complex physics principles with procedures and activities of artists. As artists and artisans, we create and share the beautiful through light and sound. For those of us interested in the aesthetic side of life, this book shows how a physical understanding of light and sound can expand and deepen our appreciation of the world opened up by these media. Author Pupa Gilbert has prepared an acceptance video as well.
Thank you very much, Eric, for this prestigious award. I'm very honored. And thank you very much, Katie Bircher at Elsevier, for nominating me for the award. It's been a ton of fun to bring physics to artists, poets, musicians, and journalists. And I've enjoyed every step of the process, from signing the contract to submitting the final book. And working with Katie has been a tremendous amount of fun all along. Thank you.
Well, we're about to move to our most promising new textbook award winners. And I'll be handing off this next section to TAA's Executive Director, Mike Spinella. But first, let's pause and give all our Textbook Excellence Award winners a round of applause. And this is one of those moments when you're encouraged to unmute and let your voice and your applause be heard.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Well done. David, yay.
Bravo. All right. I've muted everyone again, and we will move on. So thanks again to everyone for being here today, and let's move on to the most promising new textbook awards. These awards recognize excellence in first edition textbooks and learning materials. This year, TAA is proud to present 20 titles across 6 disciplines with the most promising new textbook award. And our first discipline will be accounting, business, and economics, where we will recognize 2 works aimed at college level students.
What'd you say?
First, we have
attending the awardee ceremony for our textbook.
Hello, could I ask everyone to please mute yourselves? Okay. First, we have Introduction to Employment Law by Gwen Sequist and published by Zovio. Judges found the work to be a clearly organized and well-written textbook that demonstrates the author's strong knowledge of the underlying legal material and adept methods at explaining the content. It takes the best of textbook writing and puts it all in one book. The content is presented in an engaging manner that will make the most hesitant learner easily learn about the topic. Our next winner in this discipline is, it's published by Flat World and it's written by Derek Cruz, Mastering Human Resources Management, which judges wrote is a wonderful entry-level text that provides students with the knowledge needed about the HR profession. The book bravely discusses many current HR quandaries, requiring that the students connect the theories and informational content to the real-world work environment. It provides an engaging structure within which key ideas relating to the execution of HR are embedded. Author Derek Cruz has prepared a video acceptance.
Hi, this is Derek Cruz, and I am humbled and honored to receive a Most Promising Textbook Award for Mastering Human Resource Management. I want to thank TAA not only for the award, but more importantly, for everything that TAA does. Without TAA, I don't think this textbook project would have ever happened. When I first had aspirations to write a textbook, I joined TAA, and I also want to thank Texas Women's University for purchasing an institutional membership. And then I bought the TAA book, the publication, Writing and Developing Your College Textbook, and I read that cover to cover, And then I attended my first TAA conference, and that was in Santa Fe, I believe in 2018. And at that conference, I met my publisher, Sean Wakely, and I've attended several TAA conferences since then. But TAA has been with me all through this journey. I have made use of multiple webinars and other resources from TAA. I also want to thank Flat World. I want to thank Sean Wakely for sharing this vision with me and giving this book an opportunity. I want to thank Nikki Ross, the digital project editor, for her tireless work with me for almost 2 years to bring this book about, and all the other staff that work behind the scenes of Flat World. I also want to thank the dozens of HR professionals who did interviews, which became feature strands in each chapter of the book. I want to thank my graduate assistant, Kia Haynes, for the many hours of editing and proofreading, and especially I want to thank my wife and best friend, Tricia, for her many countless hours doing proofreading, writing cases, helping me with research, and more importantly, her moral support along the way.
Thanks for those kind words, Derek. Next, we will move to the discipline group of communication, performing arts, and visual arts, where 3 titles aimed at college students will be recognized. And we will start with Empowering Public Speaking, written by Deanna Fassett and Keith Nainby. Published by Cognella, judges felt this title is an engrossing text that manages to teach all the relevant concepts of public speaking while keeping the students engaged in a critical thinking process. This book is well written and can comfortably be used for many different groups. The textbook is thoughtfully written, infusing a DEI lens to offer continuous and evolving education to public speaking best practices. Next, we want to recognize a work by Jake Harwood, published by Cognella, entitled Thinking Like a Researcher, an engaged introduction to communication research methods. Understanding why methods is important and how to select the right tool for the job is key to the success of a researcher's efforts, commented one evaluator. And this work does an outstanding job of helping students to understand the why and the how of methods. Todd Armstrong with Cognella shared a few words from the authors of these previous 2 winning titles.
Hi, my name is Todd Armstrong, and I'm the publisher for Communication Studies at Cognella Academic Publishing. Unfortunately, a few of my authors couldn't be here at the ceremony today, but they did send me some words to read on their behalf, and indeed it's a real pleasure to do so. First up, Jake Harwood, whose book Thinking Like a Researcher won one of the most promising new textbook awards. He writes, I appreciate all the support of the entire staff at Cognella, as well as the Department of Communication at the University of Arizona. I hope the book gets undergraduate students excited about pursuing research and increases their literacy as consumers of research findings that get reported in the news. My heartfelt appreciation to the judges and to everyone at TAA. So congratulations, Jake. Secondly, Empowering Public Speaking also received one of the most promising new textbook awards. This was authored by Deanna Fassett and Keith Nainby, and they write, we are very grateful to the Textbook and Academic Authors Association for recognizing our efforts with this award. Thank you so very much. We became excited about this project for 2 reasons. We wanted to engage introductory communication curriculum in ways reflective of critical communication pedagogies and communication research that examines power and privilege and promotes transformation. Secondly, we were eager to attend to public speaking in particular as a form of communication that students at colleges and universities might take up as a means of engaging their communities and enhancing their understanding of meaning making and critical analysis of ideas in our complex current environment of public communication. Speaking of the publisher of these 2 books and also of Anita and Bessie's, I'm very thankful to the judges at TAA for recognizing these books. They do take a different approach to the subject matter than many of the other books that are out there, and we're grateful that this difference was known and celebrated. Thank you very much.
And finally, in this discipline group, we want to recognize Who Am I? Identity in the Age of Consumer DNA Testing, a work by Anita Foman and Bessie Lawton, also published by Cognella. Evaluators said the book deserves the award for being able to link an age-old issue of identity with modern inventions. The book is thoughtful and engaging and is an amazing way to have students think about themselves and their identity and roles in everyday life. It is a very well organized and well-written book that offers a step-by-step exploration of the benefits and pitfalls of consumer DNA testing as part of the search for one's identity. Authors Anita Foman and Bessie Lawton prepared a video acceptance speech.
Thank you, Textbook and Academic Authors Association, for honoring us with the most promising new textbook award this year. We would like to express our gratitude to our editor, Todd Armstrong, and the rest of the staff at Cognella who supported us through the publishing process. The work for this book, entitled Who Am I? Identity in the Age of Direct-to-Consumer DNA Tests, started almost 2 decades ago, well before the rise in popularity of direct-to-consumer DNA tests.
But when the wave hit, we were well into our research and had much to add to the conversation. From the first days of interviewing undergraduate students one by one to testing hundreds of undergraduate, graduate, faculty, community members, and others in one semester, we are answering important questions in this time of new ancestry information.
In this book, we share what we have learned about identity from interviewing thousands of participants. We discuss how DNA tests have changed. We explore concerns about DNA testing. We discuss what these tests can and cannot tell us, and we look at creative ways to explore the information.
We see this as a new and engaging opportunity for all students, whether or not they choose to take the DNA test. We hope you will find it fascinating too.
Thank you. Now, to move on to another discipline group, let's turn our attention to our largest category of awards for the day, the discipline of humanities, education, and social sciences. In this group, we have 7 college and university titles and 3 K-12 titles receiving Most Promising New Textbook Awards. And let's begin with Florida History Makers, Kindergarten Social Studies, Myself, My School, My Community. This is published by Analytic Orange and team written by Kim Mogilevsky, Sean Mabry, Sherry Markowitz, Stephanie Mahler, and Monica Sherwin. Judges said it is an excellent supplement to help teachers with their lessons. The book features engaging cartoon-style pictures and does a wonderful job integrating neuroscience in lessons. And here's an acceptance video from the publisher. Wow, thanks for getting us moving there. Congratulations to all involved with this title. Now our next winner is Introduction to 21st Century Counseling, a Multicultural and Social Justice Approach by Kent Butler, Anna Locke, and Joel Fillmore, and published by Cognella. Judges commented that this textbook explores how today's socio-political realities impact the counseling profession and process. Readers will appreciate the engaging writing style, rich resources, and critical reflections to spark further conversation. This book offers counseling students and professional counselors a wealth of information about incorporating social justice and multicultural issues in the practice of counseling, which is especially relevant today. Lead author Kent Butler prepared a video acceptance.
My name is Dr. S. Kent Butler, and I am so humbled to be here before you all today as a recipient of the Most Promising New Textbook Award. Textbook and Academic Authors Association, thank you. Thank you so much for honoring our book and thinking that we had something to promise to contribute to the literature, to the world, especially to the counseling community. I want to give a great shout out to Eric Smeeter, the membership engagement team, and the awards committee for supporting us and helping us through this process, thinking that we were worthy of this honor. Also, to my team over in Cognella, my family, my mentors, they stayed with us. They took us in, they believed in our proposal, and they brought us to fruition. Cassie Graves, Amy Smith, Bassem Hamadeh, thank you all so much for all the things that you have done. We have learned so much because of you. We have grown so much because of you. And now we're award winning because of you. My co-editors, Anna Flores-Locke and Joe Fillmore, we're so proud to have been a part of this textbook. This would not have been possible without our brilliant contributing authors. Introduction to 21st Century Counseling, a multicultural and social justice approach, is a timely counseling text that's filled in the gaps from textbooks stemming from a Eurocentric perspective that did not readily include our varying intersectionalities, the true fabric of society. Lastly, congratulations to all the recipients of this prestigious award. It is truly, truly an honor to be here before you all and to be amongst you all winners as well. Thank you so much. Have a phenomenal rest of the day.
Fabulous, thank you. Let's move on now to our next award winner, Introduction to Intersectional Qualitative Research by Jennifer Esposito and Venus Evans Winters, and published by Sage. This textbook, according to the judges, is a deeply original work and a vital contribution to qualitative research. Think of this book as a one-stop shop for qualitative inquiry with an intersectionality approach. It provides facts, then gives step-by-step examples to demonstrate clarity and understanding. Congratulations to the authors and publishers alike. Moving on to our next work, Making Black Lives Matter, Confronting Anti-Black Racism by Kevin Coakley and published by Cognella. Evaluators wrote that this textbook is a compelling and outstanding study of race and racism in America. The book is one of the first to provide a space for multiple voices on this timely subject. This text is timely, thorough, concise, and provides an exigent explanation of US society in the wake of George Floyd's murder, and is an immensely important contemporary topic for students and everyone living in our racist culture. Next up, we have two titles by the same author, Bart King, published by Gibbs Smith Education. These are on different periods of Maryland's history. The first is Maryland, an American Adventure, 1450 to 1790, of which evaluators wrote, it is a thought-provoking textbook with culturally relevant material for today's elementary students. It is a book that will captivate you from the first page with its compelling stories and simple images. This book also includes thoughtful questions that help foster critical thinking skills, making it perfect for classroom use, as well as home study. And his second work on Maryland, An American Adventure, 1780 to the present. Here, judges wrote that it presents a robust exploration of Maryland's rich social history, offering a unique perspective featuring easy to understand lessons and engaging, straightforward writing. This book is perfect for students to take a deep dive into informative content. The vivid illustrations and maps are winning features and strengths, while the helpful and well-constructed teacher's guide makes bringing these lessons to life in the classroom a breeze. And we have a brief acceptance video from Bart King to share.
Hello, my name is Bart King and I'm an editor at Gibbs Smith Education. I was quite happily surprised that our recent project, Maryland, an American Adventure, won the TAA award for the most promising new textbook. I don't know if that reads, but trust me, we did. This award means a great deal to me and also to the whole team of people who worked on the book, including our designers, researchers, and reviewers. I want to particularly acknowledge the valuable input of Professor Suzanne Chappell for her help. So in closing, I'm sure this award ceremony is running a bit late. They always are. So to sum up, I'm deeply honored. Thank you very much. Good night.
Well, congratulations, Bart, and keep up the good work. Our next winner is Social Welfare Policy in a Changing Society by Shannon Lane, Elizabeth Paley, and Corey Schudema, published by Sage. One judge described it as an excellent textbook, which I predict will be widely adopted because it will convince social work students that policy is important, that they can understand it, and that they can use it to help their clients and make the world better. It's the first policy textbook I have ever wanted to read cover to cover. Readers will appreciate the engaging writing style, conversation starters, and prompts for further consideration. Moving on to our next winner, we have Technical Art History, A Journey Through Active Learning by Jahani, Rakai, and Tamar, Shui. It is published by World Scientific, and judges commented that it makes the highly technical science of art authentication understandable, which is no mean feat, and hooks readers and holds their attention with a series of compelling stories, an innovative way of teaching the tools of forensic analysis of works of art by employing engaging fictional case studies. Unquestionably a novel and successful approach to what easily could be both a dry and intimidating subject. The next winning textbook in this category is Understanding Racism, Theories of Oppression and Discrimination by Hepzibah Strimick-Paul, published by Sage. A judge described it as an important and timely text, appropriate for a range of learners from high schools and introductory university courses. It takes on the gargantuan task of explaining the evolution of various theories on racism. This book is clearly written with a focus on pedagogy and provides good coverage of various theories about racism, which enables learners to comprehend how theories on racism have changed over time, as well as challenges readers to consider how issues of color will shape future theoretical contributions. And we have a brief video from the author as well.
Hi, thank you so much to the Textbook and Academic Authors Association for this really wonderful award and plaque and for hosting this evening's event. Thank you also to all the anonymous judges who did such careful readings of the work submitted and provided thoughtful, detailed feedback. This book was a really huge feat for me. The idea for it came out of conversations with students and others in my life who, when trying to understand the multiple concepts describing contemporary racism, were confused and at a complete loss for one reference. What is the difference between microaggressions and implicit bias? What is critical race theory exactly? There was no one book or website I could point people to. Thus, I embarked on this project to systematically explain 13 major theories of racism in one book, to succinctly describe them and yet maintain the voices of the theorists themselves. This book draws on the theories of such notable scholars as Kimberly Crenshaw, Derek Bell, Eduardo Bonilla Silva, Charles Mills, William Julius Wilson, Daryl Wing Su, and others. I hope this book allows people to take a step into learning about such important scholars and their contributions to explaining and addressing contemporary racism. Before I go, I also want to thank the numerous scholars and colleagues who provided feedback over the several years it took to write this book, and to my mother who helped with editing every single page. Many thanks also to my editor, Jeff Lazar at Sage, who believed in this project since day one, and Rob Bloom, who has enthusiastically led the marketing of it. Thank you so much.
That's great, thank you. Next up, let's recognize another Sage publication, Women and Leadership, Journey Toward Equity, written by Lisa DeFrank Cole and Cheryl Tan. The work is written in a conversational tone that is engaging and makes the text approachable for readers. The unique features such as leader profiles, leadership in practice, and spotlight on provide students an opportunity to reflect upon and apply the theory and principles of women in leadership. The authors have woven the theories and styles of leadership into a book that focuses on how these apply to those who identify as female. The authors have prepared a brief acceptance video.
Hi, I'm Lisa DeFrank Cole, Professor of Leadership at West Virginia University.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Tan, Director of Internship and Research at the Kravis Leadership Institute at Claremont McKenna College, and I'm a visiting assistant professor of leadership at Claremont McKenna College in Southern California.
We are so pleased to accept this award from the TAA as a most promising new textbook in our field.
Our book, Women in Leadership, Journey Towards Equity, was published through Sage Publications, and we'd like to thank our editor, Maggie Stanley, for supporting us through this process.
At this historic time, when we're seeing our first female vice president of the United States, we're so excited to get this book out into the world and let more people see the benefits of women leaders.
Our book, Women in Leadership, includes 3 sections: a foundation section that focuses on the historical and social context in which women lead, a section on barriers and challenges that point to what keep women from leading, and finally, a section on supports and strategies to help towards gender equity in leadership.
We are so very proud and pleased to be given this award from the TAA.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa and Cheryl. Congratulations to all of the humanities winners. Now let's go on to 2 winners in the life sciences, one for college students and one for K through 12. Cognition, written by Marvin Chun and Stephen Most and published by Oxford University Press, is one of the most compelling textbooks I have reviewed, wrote one of the evaluators. This new textbook does a great job of integrating real-world examples related to cognition, and it provides excellent links to other areas of psychology. It covers the core material any student should know about this subject in a clear, engaging, and modern way. This textbook deserves to be widely used to provide students with foundational knowledge unencumbered by either old biases or new fads. Authors Marvin Chun and Stephen Most have prepared a brief video.
Hello, we are the authors of the textbook Cognition by Oxford University Press. My name is Marvin Chun, and I'm a professor of psychology, cognitive science, and neuroscience at Yale University.
And I'm Steve Most, an associate professor of psychology at the University of New South Wales. We are so delighted and honored that our textbook, Cognition, has been recognized with the most promising new textbook award from the Textbook and Academic Authors Association.
Yes, we're really excited. The award has special meaning to us because we set out to put forward a new vision of what a cognitive psychology textbook could be. We worked hard to make the book that truly captured the modern state of the field with citations to current studies, to engage students with fun and thought-provoking examples and interactive features, and to highlight the relevance of the field to numerous applications to real-world problems.
We were so fortunate to work with the Oxford University Press team, who shared and supported our vision throughout. There are too many people to name in the short time that we have, but these include Jane Potter, who first approached us about the possibility of writing this book, Senior Editor of Higher Education, Joan Calcutt, who oversaw all aspects of this project, and Lauren Mine and Marian Provenzano, who supported us with extensive edits and suggestions that improved our drafts immensely. These also include Lauren Elfers and Suzanne Carter, who oversaw the amazing digital package.
We are thrilled with how the book turned out, and we're grateful to the media editors, managers, and specialists, including Linnea Dooley, Tracy Martin, Joan Jem, Donna DiCarlo, Mark Sedal, and so many others.
Not to mention the marketing genius of Kathleen McCormick, Joan Lewis Milne, and Ashendri Ramanisinghe. We are also indebted to our colleagues around the world who helped develop digital resources such as the Discovery Labs and quizzes, and who shared their expertise and feedback throughout the process. And of course, so many thanks to the Textbook and Academic Authors Association for supporting valuable and high quality education through awards like this.
We hope that the students and teachers who use the book enjoy it and get as much out of it as we did while putting it together. Thank you so much.
Thanks again.
Thank you both. Next, the Life Sciences winner for the K through 12 market is Squid Books Life Science, written by Tracy McNamara, Ian Townley, and Matthew Yoskowitz, and published by Squid Books. I really enjoyed going through the content and materials for Squid Books Life Sciences, stated one judge. This interactive and engaging tool is a full platform for delivering content, encouraging interaction, and assessing knowledge. Its flexibility and diverse content makes it accessible to a diverse population. The intuitive way that it breaks the learning environment into earth, life, physical, and space science gives students a composite, well-developed view of the world we live in. The Squid Books development team have prepared an acceptance video.
Hi there, thanks for joining us today. I'm Tracy McNamara. I'm the Director of Content at Squid Books and one of the authors of Squid Books Life Science.
Hi, my name is Matthew Yoskowitz, and I am a high school science teacher and life science author at Squid Books.
Hello, my name is Ian Townley, and I am a college and high school educator.
For those of you who don't know Squid Books, we are a digital interactive science textbook. It's been super exciting for me to work on this project that goes beyond the normal textbook experience because we're reaching out to students and creating content that meets them really where they are at. All of our articles, for example, are available at 5 different reading levels ranging from a grade 3 to a grade 12 reading level. And within those articles, we've got embedded language support. So if students come across a really hard science word, they can click on it and get one that's more understandable.
At Squid Books, my role is an author, and I'm also a life science content editor. And I work with a team that's obsessed with taking complex ideas and making them more accessible. We owe a huge thank you to both the National Science Foundation and the National Institutes of Health for supporting the creation of the Squid Books Life Science digital textbook.
A special thanks to others on the Squid Books team who helped make this project possible. First of all, Kelly Puzzio, our CEO and founder, who is the true visionary behind Squid Books. In media and design, Dennis Kelly and Alton Yu. And in writing and editing support, Katie Schnabel and Erica Tooley Van Dale.
Thank you so much to the TAA judging panel for your time and constructive feedback, which we will use to foster our continued growth.
I'm personally humbled to be part of the team receiving this award, so thank you, TAA.
Thank you, TAA, for awarding Squid Books Life Science the Most Promising New Textbook Award.
Congratulations to all of you. Let's go on to our next discipline now, math and science. Here we have 2 college university titles that have been awarded Most Promising New Textbook Awards. Our first winner in this discipline is Basic Statistics with R by Stephen Loftus, published by Elsevier. Stating that it is an excellent statistics primer for undergraduate and graduate courses, an evaluator commented that readers will appreciate the engaging writing style, conversational tone, and clearly presented tables and charts that aid instruction. It skillfully straddles teaching the scientific methods, statistical theory, and using the R statistical environment. This well-written textbook fills the gap between introductory level and advanced graduate level courses. And our second winner in this category is a solo work by Ron Larson, published by Cengage, entitled Trigonometry, a Right Triangle Approach. Ron Larson's trigonometry, writes one evaluator, makes a seamless connection from a student's geometry knowledge to the concepts of trigonometry. This textbook provides absolutely everything that the aspiring student needs for successful mastery of trigonometry, including effective strategies for study. The text is written in clear and accessible language with all new vocabulary and concepts thoroughly explained at first usage. The text is concise yet complete. Congratulations, Ron. What's that, your fourth title today? Your fourth win today? Moving on, we have one more MPNT winner. That's Most Promising New Textbook winner, this time in the discipline of physical sciences. And it is Organic Chemistry, a learner-centered approach by Rick Mullins, published by Pearson. This one, wrote one evaluator, is exactly the textbook I wish existed when I was a college student fulfilling my pre-med requirements. The reading of a subject like organic chemistry can be less than stimulating, but the voice of the author comes through in the writing. It is as if he is speaking to the reader through his italicized text. Mullins embraced the different styles of adult learning brought by diverse students and incorporated varied perspectives on the material, as well as embedded coaching to help master this challenging subject. Author Rick Mullins has prepared a brief video.
Hey everybody, let me first start by saying what an honor it is to receive this award from TAA for a most promising new textbook. TAA is an organization that's become really important to me over the last 5 years, and I'm truly humbled and honored to receive this award. I want to thank the judges for seeing me fit to win this award. I'd like to thank the Pearson team, specifically Jeannie Zaleski, Chris Hess, and Lizzie Bell, who took a chance on me as an author, signed me, and ushered this project through to completion. They said I was the emotional author, and the three of them had to bear the brunt of a lot of that emotion, the ups and downs over 8 years of writing. I'd like to acknowledge two development editors, Barbara Price and John Merdzik. I think that there's a myth that in order to write a book, you need to be a good writer. I don't think I was. I'm not sure I am. But I had great development editors. Barbara Price taught me how to write. John Merdzik came along at the end and like a good closer on a baseball team, taught me how to finish the book. Without those two, this book certainly doesn't happen. Speaking of other people that were instrumental, I'd like to acknowledge my wife and my family. I said when I started out writing the book 9 years ago that I didn't want that book to take the place of me being a good husband and a good parent. I was able to continue coaching both of my children's soccer teams and baseball teams throughout this process, mainly because of the support of my wife. She always believed in the project and helped me get it finished. Finally, I want to thank TAA and its members. This has been getting the opportunity to come to these conferences every year has really motivated me. Every year I could go to the conference, come back with ideas, inspiration, motivation, and I can't wait to get back together with this group so I can thank them in person, because without them, this book would not have been finished.
Thank you, Rick, and congratulations. Now, everyone, we're about to begin the final set of awards, the McGuffies. But before I turn the podium back over to Kevin, this is another of our opportunities. We can unmute ourselves, give all of our most promising new textbook award winners a round of applause, and maybe say a few words.
Hey,
Congratulations to all.
Good job.
Congratulations.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike, and congratulations to all our winners so far. And that means we can move forward with the last set of awards. Our final category of awards is the William Holmes McGuffey Longevity Award. The McGuffey Award recognizes textbooks and learning materials whose excellence has been demonstrated over time. To be nominated, a work must have been in print 15 years and still be selling. The award bears the name of William Holmes McGuffey, whose influential primers, which first appeared in 1836, helped bring the United States out of frontier illiteracy. McGuffey's eclectic readers, usually called simply McGuffey's readers, were in print until 1921. 12 titles across 6 disciplines have earned the McGuffey Longevity Award this year. We'll start with a title aimed at college-level students in the accounting, business, and economics discipline. Exploring Management by John Schermerhorn Jr. and Daniel Bachrach. The work is in its 7th edition and is published by Wiley. Exploring Management supports teaching and learning of core management concepts by presenting contemporary and foundational material in a straightforward conversational style with a strong emphasis on application. Over the last 15 years, Exploring Management has allowed instructors to situate core management scholarship within a contemporary architecture, retaining time-tested anchoring concepts and ideas while simultaneously reflecting current management realities. Next up in our McGuffey Longevity Awards is the Communication, Performing Arts, and Visual Arts discipline. One college university title has been awarded in this discipline. Media/Society, Technology, Industries, Content, and Users, a work in its 7th edition, published by Sage and written by David Croteau, William Hoynes, and Clayton Childress. This edition helps students understand the relationship between media and society and gets them to think critically about recent media developments, the latest scholarship and data that address enduring media topics, as well as new concerns raised by the role of digital platforms and other current topics. The text has been the market leader in the media and society course market for the last decade and explores important issues of economics, social inequality, and media representations of gender and race, and the globalization and future of media. Next, recognizing the McGuffey Longevity Award winners in the discipline of humanities, education, and social sciences. 5 college university titles and 1 K-12 title have been awarded McGuffey Awards in this discipline, beginning with A Race is a Nice Thing to Have, a guide to being a white person or understanding the white persons in your life, in its 3rd edition, published by Cognella and authored by Janet Helms. The book is designed to help white people fully recognize and accept their racial identity, assume the proper responsibility for ending racism, and develop an understanding of how racism impacts their own racial group. This powerful text encourages deeper levels of self-understanding. It explores the meaning of race in society, the color blindness movement, the problem of ignorance about whiteness, the various phases of internalized racism, and other critical topics. Evocative and meaningful activities throughout the text foster reflection and increased levels of self-awareness and acceptance. Author Janet Helms has prepared a brief video.
Good afternoon. I'm Janet Helms. I would like to thank the Textbook and Academic Authors Association for the 2022 McGuffey Longevity Award for A Race is a Nice Thing to Have, a guide for being a white person or understanding the white people in your life. The first version was published in 1992 and looks like this. The second version of A Race is a Nice Thing to Have was published in 2008 and looked like this. The current version of A Race is a Nice Thing to Have is memorialized forevermore on the McGuffey Award. And so I would really like to thank them. This is a beautiful memorialization of my book and guarantees that it will have longevity for a long time. Each version had as its major goal to help white people make the choice between being moral or immoral people because of their whiteness. So I also want to thank the many white people who read my book and used my book and kept it alive and were willing to consider the options of being a moral versus an immoral person in this diverse society in which we live. Thank you again, Textbook and Academic Authors Association, for the 2022 McGuffey Award.
All right. Next in this discipline, we will recognize Aging, Concepts and Controversies by Harry Moody and Jennifer Sasser, published by Sage in its 10th edition. In its 27th year in print, Aging, Concepts and Controversies is still one of the leading resources instructors, students, and practitioners alike turn to for the most contemporary and well-researched scholarship in the field of social gerontology and aging. Through seamless editing and original writing, the authors make the information not only digestible for each reader, but also engaging, as this text serves as a wonderful basis for classroom discussion. Congratulations to the authors. And now we're going to recognize our next winner, Brain and Behavior by Bob Garrett and Gerald Hoff, and published in its 6th edition by Sage. Brain and Behavior was a pioneer in its field, uniting theory and research-based approaches with applications from its first edition. Over time, it has evolved and adapted to teaching and learning challenges, from its intentional use of language to its coverage on the evolution of neuroscience. This text remains purposefully in step with its teachers and learners today. Excellent work. Moving forward, let me present Fitness for Life, a work in its 7th edition published by Human Kinetics and written by the team of Charles Corbin, Darla Castelli, Benjamin Sibley, and Guy Lemesurier. A 20+ year longitudinal research project has shown the long-term effectiveness of the Fitness for Life program. Physical education standards in many states have been updated to reflect the content and effectiveness of the text and accompanying program. These changes have resulted in a sustained movement within physical education toward lifelong activity with the goal of achieving and maintaining physical, mental, and emotional health and wellness. And we're pleased to present a brief acceptance video from Chuck Corbin.
Howdy, I'm Chuck Corbin, senior author of Fitness for Life 7th edition and winner of this year's TAA McGuffey Award for K-12 publications. First, let me say thanks to the Text and Academic Authors Association, not only for this award, but for all the services and assistance it provides to authors. We are proud to accept this year's McGuffey Award for Textbook Longevity. Our book was finally published in 1979 after being rejected by many publishers. We're especially proud to be mentioned in the same breath as the famous McGuffey readers. Fitness for Life is an evidence and standards-based physical education program in which high school students use a text in a classroom and apply the information in activity settings. It is one part of a quality physical education program and is used in hundreds of schools throughout the United States and the world. In 1997, Fitness for Life earned the TAA Texty Award. In addition to the print and interactive digital texts, Fitness for Life has extensive student and teacher resources, including a remote teacher's guide and resources for online learning that were widely used during the COVID pandemic. I accept this award on behalf of co-authors Darla Castelli, Ben Sibley, and Guy Lemesurier. I would also like to acknowledge Ruth Lindsay, a longtime TAA member and founding co-author of Fitness for Life. I would also like to thank our editorial board, who contributed significantly to the production of this text. Thank you. Finally, I would like to thank Human Kinetic Publishers, the key people listed here, and the many others who played a role in producing Fitness for Life. Thank you.
Well, thanks for that, Chuck, and congratulations to the whole team. Let's move to our next awardee, Governing States and Localities by Kevin Smith and Alan Greenblatt, published by Sage in its 8th edition. This is the only book in the state and local government market to combine top scholarship with the best journalistic writing to keep students engaged. The book employs an effective comparative approach to explain how state and localities are similar or different when it comes to their institutional structures, laws and regulations, culture and history, demographics, economy, and geography. The 8th edition covers the growing impact of political polarization at the state and local levels and other contemporary topics. Author Alan Greenblatt has provided a brief acceptance video.
Hello, textbook fans. This is Alan Greenblatt. I'm the co-author with Kevin Smith of Governing States and Localities, and we wanted to thank the association for giving us this award for longevity. Of course, it's kind of a funny award to get. When we started this book about 20 years ago, a lot of books in the state government market were from the 1960s and their 10th editions and seemed old, and we felt like we were the new kids on the block. And now here we are in our 8th edition and we're getting a longevity award. I want to thank our team at CQ Press and the folks at Sage for guiding us through all these many editions. When we started, it was a big deal. We were the first book in our market that was 4 color. Now, of course, we're on digital platforms and all the rest. And we're just pleased to be acknowledged this way. We received an award for an earlier edition from the Association for Excellence, which was very heartening back in 2008. And we're so pleased to be recognized again, basically just as an acknowledgement that this book has continuing value. So we thank you and congratulate all the other winners as well. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to all involved. And now for our next winner, The Language of Medicine, published by Elsevier in its 12th edition and written by Davy Ellen Chabner. This best-selling, easy-to-understand approach to learning the language of medicine presents medical terms within the context of the body's anatomy and physiology, and in health and disease. Practical exercises and case studies make learning more interesting and demonstrate how medical terms are used in practice. And I just want to add a personal note myself. I've always kept a couple of copies of this textbook on my shelf for my human anatomy and physiology students who struggle with the terminology. I could just hand it to them and they could take it home and start using it. And sometimes they even bought the book, even though it wasn't a required textbook. And I've referred to it a few times myself. It's one of my favorite books. So congratulations, Davy Ellen, who has a few words to share with us by way of video.
Thanks so much to the Textbook and Academic Authors Association. I'm honored to have the Language of Medicine 12th edition recognized with the McGuffey Longevity Award. It takes a village to produce a book that has continued to resonate with students for these many years. I'm grateful to the Elsevier Publishing Company and their dedicated editors who handled each edition with expertise and care. In particular, my devoted editors Maureen Pfeiffer and Luke Held have been with me throughout the years. The truth is that the Language of Medicine would not have existed without my classroom teaching. In fact, I didn't have a book to use with my students as I began teaching this relatively new subject matter called medical terminology in the 1970s. My students use materials, I call them worksheets, that I created on a typewriter. In class, they asked questions and volunteered personal stories, as did I, about our medical experiences. From these worksheets and classroom interaction, the language of medicine was born. The book has continued to be relevant, current, and medically cutting edge because of the valuable student feedback and participation throughout the years. I still love teaching, and I learned so much from my students, even now as I'm writing the 13th edition of the Language of Medicine. Truly, I couldn't have asked for a more gratifying work-life experience, and I thank you again for this very special award.
Marvelous. Now let's move to a different discipline category for our next set of awards, life sciences, where we have 2 college university titles that have earned McGuffeys. Kin's The Medical Assistant, an Applied Learning Approach, published in its 14th edition by Elsevier and written by Bridget Niedzwiecki, Julie Pepper, and Ann Weaver. This work was the first comprehensive medical assisting textbook on the market and has set the stage and driven the expansion of the profession. Now in its 65th year of continuous publication, KINS has successfully educated and launched the careers of thousands of medical assisting educators and practitioners. It is a one-stop resource to launching a successful career in the dynamic and fast-paced world of medical assisting. All right, let's move to our next title, which is up for recognition, and that is Modern Dental Assisting, written by Donnie Bird and Debbie Robinson, and published by Elsevier in its 13th edition. This work was originally published in 1976 and was the first of its kind. Today, MDA is the market leader in the profession and has earned the reputation as the Bible of dental assisting due to its cutting-edge content, depth of presentation, and trusted authorship. MDA provides students in dental assisting with a complete foundation in the basic and advanced clinical skills that they must master to achieve competency. Presented in a style and at a level that instructors have come to trust and that has resonated with many thousands of students for 45 years. Author Debbie Robinson has provided a brief video.
Good afternoon. I'm Debbie Robinson, co-author of Modern Dental Assisting, also referred to as MDA. Sadly, my co-author, Donnie Bird, is not able to join us today due to declining health. I know this would have meant the world to her to be a part of this. I would first like to thank TAA for this prestigious honor of the McGuffey Longevity Award, and also congratulate the other recipients. I can't think of a better time than to go back 46 years ago to the beginning of MDA and recognize the founding authors, Ann Ehrlich and Hazel Torres, also known as the East Coast West Coast team. These 2 women had the insight to know that allied health was rapidly growing, and what better time to talk with Saunders Publishing about embarking on a comprehensive textbook for dental assisting. Donnie and I have worked together these past 27 years to preserve what Ann and Hazel started, but also to make sure that the material presented reflected the title of this book. Today, with the help of our team and the direction of our reviewers and support from the educators, we have developed a complete learning system, all 64 chapters and every possible ancillary you can imagine. Lastly, our love and appreciation to our Elsevier family, specifically Kristen Wilhelm and Kelly Skelton. Donnie and I have been truly blessed from your guidance and support through every step and every revision. It is one of the most amazing collaborations to be a part of. It is bittersweet to receive this award at this time because this is Donnie's last edition. And so a new chapter begins with MDA. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Congratulations. Now let's look at winners in the discipline of mathematics and statistics. 1 college university title has been awarded a McGuffey Longevity Award in this discipline. Elementary Statistics by Mario Triola and published by Pearson is in its 14th edition. Elementary Statistics has been the #1 statistics books in the United statistics book in the United States for the past 26 years. This book has been in print since 1980 and has been used by millions of students. It's been translated into several foreign languages. In 1998, this book was awarded a Textbook Excellence Award by the Textbook and Academic Authors Association. And now we're pleased to share a brief acceptance video from Marty Triola.
Hi, I'm Marty Triola, author of Elementary Statistics. I'm thrilled to be the recipient of a McGuffey Longevity Award issued by the Textbook and Academic Authors Association. My elementary statistics book has been the #1 statistics book for the past 27 years. First edition came out in 1980 and it's still in print. More than 5 million students have used this book, and it's been translated into several foreign languages. In 1998, the book was awarded a Textie by the Textbook and Academic Authors Association. When I wrote my first book, I wrote it on a typewriter, much like the one over my shoulder here. That's pretty much the model that I used for my first book. And then when computers and word processing came out, I really thought writing books would become so much easier. Was I wrong? My first book had this as the entire supplement package, this brief little document with the answers to the even-numbered exercises. Now Elementary Statistics has close to 30 different supplements, one of them including a total statistics software package that is designed specifically for my book. I'd like to share a brief story about a professor. He decided that he wanted to get onto the dating scene a little bit more actively. And in filling out his profile for one of the dating sites, he was asked to write down the name of the last book that he read. And being a statistics teacher, he wrote down Triola. Well, somebody on the same dating website saw that. They were teaching statistics. They knew Triola. And the two of them were able to get together, go out on a date, and a second date, and a third date, and eventually they ended up getting married. I think there should be a special award for that. But I'd really like to thank you sincerely with so much gratitude. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thanks for that, Marty. And I love that typewriter. And congratulations again on your win. Now let's move to our final discipline category for today, physical sciences. There is one college university title winning in this discipline, and it warms my heart to end today's ceremony with this presentation to a longtime friend of TAA. This McGuffey Award is for Karen Timberlake for her work, Chemistry, an Introduction to General, Organic, and Biological Chemistry, published by Pearson in its 13th edition. For 45 years, this title has provided general, organic, and biological chemistry students with an excellent resource for learning the chemistry they need to succeed in their future courses and careers. The text has been updated 12 times, and it stands the test of time. These updates have kept the content relevant, inclusive, and digitally rich. The book remains #1 in the market because of its superior content and pedagogy. Karen Timberlake's text is truly the best there is to offer in this course area. And by the way, I have this on my bookshelf for helping my students too. And now we'll share a brief acceptance video from Karen Timberlake.
Thank you, TA, for such a wonderful award. And I have enjoyed writing for almost 50 years, and it's been quite a trip. I do want to thank TAA for all their work. I've been a member nearly all the 35 years that TAA has been around. And I want to thank them for their huge impact on my writing, helping me to figure out what I was going to write, how I was going to write, and how I wanted the students to learn from all of that. So I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. Your award is very well deserved. Now, everyone, you may once again unmute yourselves and give all of our McGuffey Longevity Award winners a round of applause and a word of congratulations.
Way to go.
Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations, Janet.
Awesome. Cruz.
Congratulations, Atlantic Orange.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here. I hope many of you will consider joining us for our 2022 annual conference, taking place entirely online on June 20th through the 22nd. And we have a great program planned, as well as mentoring and networking opportunities. So join us to be inspired and informed. Well, we can all unmute or stay unmute one last time for a big round of applause for all of this year's textbook award winners. And we'll leave the Zoom room open for a little while if some of you want to stay and visit with each other and congratulate the winners. And I'll see you down the road.
Okay.